I woke to a faint whisper, my name, Ethan. For a second, I thought I was dreaming. The digital clock on the nightstand glared 3:17 a.m., its red digits slicing through the dim room. Moonlight leaked in through the curtains, spilling over half the bed like a ghostly glow. Clara was sitting at the edge of the mattress, her hands trembling, her face pale and drawn. There was something in her eyes I hadn't seen before, something that looked like fear or guilt, maybe both. "What's wrong?" I rasped, my voice rough with sleep and confusion. She swallowed hard. "We need to talk." Those 4 words, "we need to talk," have probably killed more marriages than betrayal ever could. A cold weight pressed against my chest. She nodded, eyes fixed somewhere near her lap, avoiding mine completely. "I can't sleep," she murmured. "I've been thinking about us." I pushed myself upright, the sheets rustling in the silence, like faint whispers. "Clara, what are you trying to say?" Her lip trembled. She looked down at her wedding ring, slid it off, and began turning it slowly between her fingers. My stomach twisted. "Please," I said, my voice barely holding together, "don't say what I think you're about to say." Her tears came before the words. "I made a mistake." The air between us turned thick and heavy. I just stared, numb. "What kind of mistake?" Her voice cracked. "There's someone else." And just like that, everything, 12 years of marriage, the laughter, the lazy Sunday mornings, the stupid inside jokes, shattered in an instant. For a long while, I couldn't speak. I only watched her cry into her hands, the woman I trusted more than anyone, shaking like a child. "How long?" I finally asked, my voice strangely calm. She hesitated, and that pause told me more than words ever could. "Clara." "How long?" "Almost 6 months." 6 months. Half a year of lies. Half a year of pretending everything was fine, dinners, kisses, trips we'd never take. I felt like a stranger in my own life. "Who is he?" Her silence hurt worse than any confession. She kept her eyes on the floor, tears slipping down her cheeks. "Who, Clara?" I pressed. "It doesn't matter." "Don't say that," I snapped, anger finally breaking through the fog. "It matters to me. Tell me who." Her lips quivered. "His name's Daniel. From work." Daniel. The name hit like a punch. I'd met him once, tall, confident, charming in that effortless way. He'd shaken my hand at her office party, smiling like the devil who knows he'll win. I remembered the way she'd laughed at something he said, too freely, too fondly. I'd brushed it off. Because I trusted her. Because she was my wife. "Did you sleep with him?" The words burned as they left my mouth. Clara froze. Her breath caught. "Yes." The room tilted. My hands went cold. I wanted to scream, to break something, but I didn't. I just sat there, silent, while the distance between us grew wider than ever. "I'm sorry," she whispered. "It just happened. We were working late one night. I was lonely. You were always so busy." "Don't." I cut in sharply. "Don't you dare put this on me." "I'm not," she cried. "I'm trying to explain." I let out a bitter laugh. "Explain what?" "That you destroyed everything because you were lonely? You could have talked to me, Clara. You could have said something." "I tried," she sobbed. "You were distant. Always tired. Buried in work. I thought maybe you didn't love me anymore." My voice shook. "So, instead of asking, you went to him." She didn't answer. She didn't need to. The clock ticked, 3:45 a.m. We sat there, 2 people who once felt inseparable, now strangers divided by truth. I stood up, pacing the room, trying to breathe. Every corner of the house suddenly felt poisoned. The pictures on the wall, the books we'd read together, even the scent of her perfume on the pillow. "I never meant to hurt you," she whispered. My eyes burned. "Then why did you?" "I don't know," she said quietly. "It wasn't supposed to go that far, but it did. And every time I tried to stop, I couldn't." "You couldn't," I repeated, disbelief and anger twisting together. "Like it was out of your control? Like you just tripped and fell into his bed?" She broke down crying. But I couldn't comfort her, not this time. Every tear she shed felt like salt on an open wound. By 4:10, I was on the couch, staring blankly at the wall. She followed, carrying her guilt like a shadow. I ended it, she said softly. 3 days ago. I couldn't live with myself anymore. I didn't answer. Her confession wasn't kindness, it was selfish. She wanted relief. You didn't tell me out of love, I said quietly. You told me so you could feel less guilty. Her tears slowed.
She knew I was right.
I thought of all the signs I'd ignored. The late nights, the way she guarded her phone, the perfume she wore for no reason, the strange smiles that didn't belong to me. And suddenly, I hated myself more than her, for not seeing it, for believing I was safe. By 5 a.m., the first gray light crept through the window. Outside, the world looked calm, completely indifferent to mine collapsing. I'll move out tomorrow, she whispered. You deserve better than this. Her voice cracked. I still love you, Ethan. I looked at her for the first time since she said his name. No, Clara. You love the idea of me. The version of me who wouldn't break after what you've done. She cried quietly as I stood, grabbed my jacket, and walked out the door. The cold morning air hit my face, sharp and real. I drove aimlessly through empty streets, the city still asleep, unaware that someone's world had ended hours ago. Eventually, I stopped near the old pier, the place we used to sit for hours back when everything felt easy. She used to rest her head on my shoulder and whisper, "Promise you'll never leave me." And I never did, until she left me, without even moving an inch. By sunrise, I found myself back home. She was still there, sitting at the kitchen table with a cold cup of coffee and swollen eyes. I don't expect forgiveness, she said softly. But I hoped maybe someday you'd understand. I studied her face for a long moment. I understand one thing, I said. Love isn't supposed to feel like this. She nodded slowly, tears glistening again. You're right. We stood there in silence, and that silence said everything words couldn't. I walked past her, picked up my suitcase, and left. It's been 8 months since that night. People say time heals all wounds. It doesn't. It just teaches you how to live with the scar. I never hated Clara. Part of me still loves who she used to be. But I've learned something. Sometimes love just isn't enough. Sometimes the person you die for ends up being the one who quietly kills something inside you. And even now, sometimes I wake up at 3:17 a.m., my heart pounding, her voice echoing in my mind. We need to talk. And part of me still wishes I could go back to the moment before everything changed.